Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm just going to do a quick little makeup tutorial, which you see that I've got on my face. Let me move my hair right now. And this was more to show, I played around with the Karity palettes. This was totally like an Instagram made me buy it. But I played around with primarily the Smokey palette, which is this one right here. And I think I dipped into the mattes for like the light green that I put under my eyes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the makeup tutorial. If you would like to see a kind of review, swatches, and the whole shabam of these palettes right here, then I'm going to do another video. I originally was doing it kind of all in one video, and I was like, I'd like to split them up so that it's not as long of a video, so you can pick and choose what you'd like to see. But yeah. So I'll have a video reviewing these guys up. I will link it somewhere, and let's go ahead and get started on the makeup tutorial for what I've got on my face right now. Okay, so first we're just going to start off with our eyes primed, and then once we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the color Poof from the Smokey palette, and I'm just going to take that on a nice big fluffy brush, and I'm going to buff that into the crease of my eye to create our basic transition shade, and I am going to flick it out at the corner of my eye to give that little bit of kind of a slant for the cat eye effect. And then I'm going to go in with the color Greed on still a fluffy brush, but a slightly smaller, slightly denser fluffy brush, and I'm going to start packing that into the crease, but lower this time, so still mimicking the shape of the transition color, but going lower. For this color green, you do have to build it up. I was able to build it up pretty easy, but you do have to build it up to get it to the pigmentation that you want it to be at. And then as I'm doing that, I'm also placing the color with stippling motions, and then I am blending it out on the edges and kind of just blending it into that brown that we put on as a base. And as you can see, I've built up the green quite a bit now. And so now that I have built up the green by quite a bit, we're going to go ahead and go in on the brown color that is called Secret. And I am taking it even on a smaller and denser fluffy brush, and I'm going to start applying this to the outer V of the eye. I'm not going to be following the whole line and taking it all the way across the lid. I'm taking it maybe about halfway across the lid. And this is where you can see I have to really build up the brown. It doesn't go on with the most pigmentation. It does build up really easily and is blendable, but it doesn't have necessarily the richness when you first apply it. So you've got to build it up to really get kind of a deeper browner smoky look. And then once I've got that, I'm going in with a larger brush that I used with no product, and I'm just blending out the edges between all those colors. Then I'm going to go in with the black color, which is called Cougar. I'm going in on kind of a thick shader brush, a small little shader brush, and I am going to roughly outline kind of a wing shape in that V of the eye, following where we just put that dark brown, but in a smaller amount, so it almost looks like I'm doing kind of like a black liner, except I'm also taking it up into the crease a little bit and across the eye. And then once I have that shape created, I'm going to go in with a small blending brush and just buff out the edges of that. Make sure that you take your time with this, because black can always be a trickier color to blend out. So just take your time making sure that you blend as much as you need to really get those edges seamless. Now I'm going to go in with the color Rude Boy, and at first you see me going in on a flat synthetic brush just with the dry product. It is very lackluster when it's dry though, so in about 2 seconds you are going to see that I'm just like, this isn't working, and I'm just going to use my setting spray. I like to use the NYX one because it's cheaper, an e.l.f. one, and I'll just use that to foil the eyeshadow. And once I foiled it, as you will now see, we have a heck of a lot more pigmentation, a lot more shine, just a lot more nice things going on with that color. It's a really pretty olive color. But yep. Then I'm going to take it up to the crease when I'm applying it and about 2/3 of the way over on the eye. And once I've got that place, I'm just going to go in and with a brush gently blend the edges of where the matte and the shimmer eyeshadow meet. Now with a clean, giant, fluffy face brush, I'm just going to brush away the excess powder, and that will set it so we can actually start doing the face makeup. But yeah, I'm going to go put on my other eye makeup. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back. Watch out! Look, we're back! Oh my goodness! And I have eyes that are, well, kind of done. But first we're going to finish our face makeup. So I'm going to go in with the Pixie Primer. I really like this one. I feel like it fills in my pores. And I'm just going to dab that in my T-zone area on the upper part of my cheeks as well as my chin. I don't spread it really throughout my whole face. And then once we've got that nice and blended, I'm going to go in with the Fenty foundation. There's lots of mixed reviews. I happen to have oily combo skin, so I really like this foundation. I apply it with a brush because I feel like it applies with a much nicer finish if I use a brush instead of a beauty blender. This is a foundation that dries down super quick, so I work in very small sections on my face to work on blending it out. And I will say that this foundation is definitely a light to medium coverage. I think it gives a nice natural look, but if I was going for a full coverage foundation, I would never want to use this because the amount of product I would have to apply to get a full foundation look I don't think would be worth it. And I've seen a couple of reviews too where people said putting on that much foundation has given them kind of like a cakey look where it settles into lines and doesn't look the best. And then I'm just going to, actually for this, I barely even put any on my forehead. I just buff it in so that everything looks cohesive. I learned this trick watching Australia's Next Top Model, and it's so that your forehead doesn't get super crinkly or anything, but you still have a nice flawless look. Then with Shape Tape Concealer, I'm going to go in and do kind of a generous amount of under the eye highlighting as well as cleaning. So highlighting under the eye, but I will also use that in my beauty blender to really shape the outer V of our eyeliner. And then I'm going to do the highlighting continues on the forehead and nose, and then just quickly buff that away. I always highlight too in sections because I don't like it when product dries down too much because I feel like you can't really blend it in as much as you want to. And make sure you take time blending stuff until it's truly, where you want it. Then I'm going to set the face with Laura Mercier setting powder. Make sure you clean your brush off a lot, and then I'm just going to press it into all the liquid products that we have to set everything in place. Then with blush, I'm going in with the Milani Coral. I feel like coral and green goes well together for some reason. I'm just going to do a nice dusting along the cheekbones and slightly up into the temple for a nice glowy look. And then with the Wet n Wild, this is one of the Fergie highlighters. These are funny, but I actually like them. I know on camera it doesn't seem like I'm applying a lot of highlighter, but you can see it in person and it just adds like a nice glow. I'm not someone who likes a crazy amount of highlighter. I like it noticeable but barely there. And now we are going to go in with the light color Wicked, which is from the matte palette. And on a small little pencil brush, I'm going to go under the eye. I did have to build this up just a little bit, nothing abnormal in how I had to build it up. So at first I sketched out where I wanted to put it on the eye. I went in, I would say, 2/3 into the eye, and I kind of ended up dragging it a bit more. But I started just by intensifying that green and meeting it at the corner of the eye and pulling it in. And then once we have that color how we like it, just take a clean fluffy brush and buff out the edges. If you feel like you lose too much of the green pigmentation, which I did, I ended up going back in with that pencil brush again and adding along the lash line. Once the green's how you like it, then go in and do your waterline. I am using the white eyeliner from ColourPop. I really like this one quite a bit, and I think the white eyeliner really helps kind of pop when you do a look like this. It gives it a nice little unique touch using white instead of black, and it will really open your eye up a lot as well. Then I'm tightlining with the Marc Jacobs. I have mixed feelings because I love this formula, but the pencil is way too big for me to tightline, so I ended up switching it out and using a Rimmel eyeliner that I have that works well. So great formula, but the packaging for this product makes it almost nigh impossible for me to use, and it was expensive. Now we're going to put on a mascara. I just used the Too Faced Better Than Sex. If you like lashes, go ahead and put on your lashes. If you don't like any or either mascara, don't put mascara on then or lashes. Do whatever you want for the fluttery things on your face. And then we're going to finish up with some lipstick. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the new liquid matte lipsticks. And I am going in with the shade Honey, which is just kind of a nice peachy neutral. What I like to do for a kind of easy look is I'll get a lipstick like this, and then I'll put it on as you see me doing. And then with my finger, I will go around the edges, and I'll use the heat from my finger, which will help make the product more blendable, and I will buff out the edges of my lips with my finger. It creates less of a sharp line, so obviously this is super personal preference, but I like how it looks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked the tutorial and that you like this makeup look. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and like or subscribe if you'd like. I would love to see you in the next video. Hope you're having a good day, night, evening, wherever you are, and goodbye!